Please welcome Mike Stalley, Chief Executive of FiscalReps.
Morning, everybody. Good to see so many faces on a Friday morning. I'm glad you all made it. As Emma said, hopefully you have a good day, and the topics we're covering today will keep you all engaged throughout the day, and hopefully give you some newly found knowledge to take away with you. As Emma said, this is our ninth event of this kind. I think every year, hopefully, we've improved on the previous year, so hopefully this year is the same. Before I kind of dive into my little sort of presentation here, I was just going to sort of make a comment regarding tax and kind of politics, I guess. Tax is driven by politics. You know, politicians decide how much they want to tax us, how they tax us, and when they tax us. I think last night UKIP won the by-election in Rochester in the UK. Now, for those of you outside the UK, UKIP are the party that want to leave Europe. They've now won 2 seats in the Houses of Parliament. They believe there's a sea change happening in UK politics. We don't know that. There's a general election next year, which will probably be a lot more definitive as to what the UK's position is in terms of Europe going forwards. Obviously, just over a month ago, the Scots voted to remain part of the United Kingdom. So that meant that, at least for the time being, that the tax situation should remain the same, although there is talk of devolving more tax powers to Scotland. And then I think a couple of weeks ago, in the Catalan area of Spain had an unofficial referendum when they voted overwhelmingly to leave Spain. It's unofficial, so I don't think they can actually leave Spain. But again, it's an indication of people's views and politics and the lives of politicians and who gets elected increasingly have an impact on the taxes that we pay and the taxes we have to settle on your behalf, really. So it's kind of it's a very current issue, I think, and there's obviously changing attitudes across Europe, which is something I think we all need to bear in mind in terms of our business going forwards. We reached our 10th birthday last year as a company, and so we kind of took the opportunity to sit down and think about, how have we done in our first 10 years and what do we want to do in the next 10 years? So we sat down and we said, okay, well, what is it we want to do as a business? And we decided, well, we need to sort of come up with a revised kind of vision, if you like, as to what we want to do going forwards. And this is it, really, and it's to be a leading firm of independent, indirect tax specialists. And as it says here, creating and delivering bespoke solutions. I think in the 10 years that we've been delivering IPT solutions, we've been very fortunate in it's a niche area of the market. We've been able to focus and give a real kind of depth of knowledge and expertise in this area, which obviously causes a number of people problems. But also what we've been looking to do in the last couple of years and going forwards is to identify other areas of tax that cause similar problems, potentially to the insurance industry, but maybe outside of the insurance industry as well. So when Peter Hewitt joined us 2 years ago, specifically to focus on VAT, that was one area where we felt, we have a number of insurance clients. VAT can be a tricky area for insurance company clients, and there's certain aspects of VAT which are probably kind of more unique to insurance and financial services. So we wanted to focus on delivering a sort of a niche solution. And that's where I think as a business we want to be headed in the next few years, is identifying more of these sort of niche tax solutions and delivering bespoke advice to help people in particular areas. Although we're still a small company, I think we're 38 employees now at the latest count. Actually, before I go any further, can all of our FiscalReps people just stand up quickly, just so everyone can see who they all are? They're scattered around the room. So these are all the guys. So if any questions during the day, or there's any kind of issues regarding anything we do for you, any tax queries, please collar one of these guys. You can all sit down again now. Thank you. So that's a large proportion of the team. There's a few others scattered around today you will see. So As I say, although we're still a small company in the scheme of things, we believe that we're becoming, in our little area of tax, we believe that we're becoming a proper alternative to maybe some of the more mainstream accountancy firms. The market is dominated by some of the bigger names. Now, we're not going to take them on, toe to toe, but in our particular niche areas, I think we can deliver a better service at a better value and more focus for our clients. So after sort of 10 years of consolidating our position, I believe that that's where we as a business want to be headed. We want to be able to offer, the same level of service and quality, but on a smaller, more personal basis. As it says there, we can offer IPT and VAT services under the one roof. And also, as a consequence of our 10 years of working in the insurance industry, we do have a lot of insurance industry knowledge, which is obviously very relevant to helping you formulate your tax plan and your tax strategy. Again, I think what we've found is that certainly on a kind of global basis, IPT and VAT does often overlap. There's certain countries they may not have premium taxes, but VAT is levied on insurance premiums, for example. There's VAT issues around claims, partial exemption, that kind of stuff. So there are areas of kind of commonality. So I think it's evident that in certain cases you need a common approach and understanding to deal with both together. So maybe there's an argument to say, well, if it's the same people looking after both areas of tax, maybe you get a more consistent approach. Today's event we've called Consolidating Compliance, and really it's that focus. It's that, well, why don't you think about using a single firm to do your IPT and your VAT work together? Hopefully when you think of that, you think of us. But we are aware that there are other people in the market that do what we do. But I think that's our kind of underlying theme here today is look at all your different areas of tax, and is there a common solution that can deal with all of them in a consistently professional manner? So in terms of our highlights in 2014, I'm just going to run through a few things here quickly. As the first one says, Tax Advisory Firm of the Year again. We're very proud to have won this award 2 years running. This is basically the UK captive insurance industry. They hold an award ceremony every year for a variety of categories that service the captive insurance market. We've won the Tax Advisory Firm of the Year for the last 2 years, which we're very pleased, we're very proud. It's good recognition for us. Captive business probably makes up about a third of our entire business, so it is a key area of work for us. And as I said, we're delighted to have won these awards, to beat some quite stiff competition on both occasions. So it's from my perspective, it's a testament to the quality of the work that we do as a business and deliver to our clients. So those are the two sort of key awards for us. We do appear to have won a few other awards as well over the course of this year, which is nice. And it's it's always nice to win an award, but you mustn't become complacent, and that's what I sort of say to the team, on a regular basis. Just because you've been voted Tax Advisor of the Year doesn't mean you can take your foot off the pedal. You have to carry on doing a good job, and you have to carry on doing an even better job going forward. So I think whilst they're nice to receive, they're a timely reminder that we need to keep upping our game consistently. Our 300th client engagement. So we that was sort of achieved probably about 2 or 3 months ago this year. Again, a big feather in our cap. I think of those 300 clients, on a month-to-month basis in terms of filing tax returns, we probably deal with about 260 of those on a month-to-month basis. The others would be more an advisory, ad hoc type client basis. So, we do a lot of tax compliance work now on a regular basis. Actually, just a few statistics very quickly. So I got a list of the Fortune Global 500 companies, and we provide services for companies that represent 10% of the Fortune 500. So just over 50 companies there. Of the FTSE Euro top 100, the top 100 companies in Europe, again, we represent 20% of the Euro Top 100, whether they be insurers or owners of captives. And finally, the Post magazine, they do a list of their top 100 UK insurers on an annual basis. Again, we represent 30% of the top 100 insurers in the UK. So hopefully that gives you sort of an idea of the scale of clients we have and sort of the depth of work we do for these particular clients. As I said a few minutes ago, Peter joined us a couple of years ago. We're now providing VAT advice for quite a few of our clients. Again, the idea is to provide a sort of a seamless VAT and IPT service together, which I think we're now starting to offer a number of clients. Peter's experience is not just financial services, he's also sort of an expert in terms of property VAT as well, yachts amongst other things. So there's a number of areas of VAT we can help with. And certainly with some of our team who are sort of non-UK nationals, they have VAT experience or basic VAT knowledge in other countries as well. So whilst I think our VAT knowledge is certainly UK focused right now, we believe that we can expand that knowledge base to cover off other countries as well. We've now added 6 new countries into our sort of portfolio of countries where we can file tax returns, which are these 6 here. Croatia joined the European Union, I think it was in the summer or the summer of last year. So we've been working closely with the tax authorities in Croatia to figure out how to file taxes in that particular country. San Marino, not technically part of the European Union, but they introduced a premium tax, I think at the early part of this year. Again, what we were able to do is we went to San Marino, we met with the tax authorities, and we explained what we did as a business and who we work for and our background, and they were delighted to work with us. So we were able to work with the tax authorities to come up with a solution for the clients who require tax filing in San Marino. So we're now acting probably for about 10 or a dozen clients in San Marino who need to file taxes. And again, I think that the real benefit here was the ability for us, with Alessia, who's our Italian national, to send her over to San Marino to meet with the tax authorities, to engage with them in their language, and to really get to the bottom of what they want in terms of the tax collection procedures, and to work with them to create a solution. So I think that's where FiscalReps, I think that's where we add particular value. We can sort of build those relationships and work on delivering good solutions. Australia and New Zealand, these are 2 relatively recent countries where we started filing taxes, and these are for a number of our captives who insure on a global basis and have tax liabilities in those particular countries. And likewise with the USA and Canada. Again, these are sort of newer countries where historically we've given advice to clients, but now we're able to offer a tax filing solution as well in those particular territories. So it's 6 new countries. I think that there's more planned. We are largely driven by client demand, however, so if you have a particular need in a particular country, let us know, and we'll go away and develop a solution that suits your particular requirements. The Farnborough Air Show. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, about 2 years ago we moved offices to an office in Farnborough. Now, our offices overlook the Farnborough Airfield, which is a big private airfield just southwest of London. They have a large air show every couple of years, and this year it came around, and we're, as you can see from the pictures here, a lovely day in, I think it was July. We had a marquee outside our office, and we invited clients down for the day to have some lunch and then to watch the air show. As you can see here, these are the red arrows flying over our office. This sort of reddy orangey building here, that's our office, so the first floor is us. If you look to the top floor, you can see all the people in the windows taking all the photos. If you look to us on the first floor, there's no one in our windows because they're all outside watching the plane, so they all managed to sneak out of the office for the afternoon. But that's our office. We welcome clients to come and visit us in our offices. Please, if you'd like to, if you're able to, please kind of come down and visit us for the day, see how we work, meet the team, see how we do things. It's often quite insightful, I think, to come to someone's office and see how they work. So, we welcome clients to please come along to our offices. And as I say, we managed to get the Red Hours to do a fly past for us as well, so that was even better. So I think the next air show is probably 2 years' time. So for all of you sort of plane enthusiasts, sort of mark it in your diary and get yourself down to our office for the day and watch the air show and enjoy some nice lunch. In September of this year, we launched a product called Compliance DNA in the US. This is in conjunction with a partner called Asher Harris that we've been working with for a number of years. He's a US tax lawyer. And we've identified a number of areas in the US sort of tax and a sort of compliance industry really where there isn't really a coordinated solution available. So not just premium taxes or self-procurement taxes or federal taxes, but also a lot of kind of the state licensing requirements. Sort of the things you learn doing some work in the States is this, we think we've got it tough in Europe with 30 different countries doing 30 different things. In the US, there's 50 states doing 50 different things. So it's actually, it's a scale more administratively challenging than Europe. And depending on sort of your insurance structure, how you write the business, how you procure the insurance, there's all kinds of different taxes and regulatory requirements to consider. So what we're trying to do with Compliance DNA is to pull all these things together so we can offer kind of a single solution. So if you're a risk retention group, or you need to file state premium taxes, or you've got federal excise tax issues, come to us and we'll sort of join up the dots for you, if you like, to offer you a kind of a single solution that takes care of all your particular requirements. So that was launched in September of this year. We are looking to partner with a firm in the US as well who can help us deliver some of the technology solutions for some of this as well. So there's sort of ongoing negotiations there as well. But that's a kind of a newer product I think we've brought to the market, but we're very hopeful that it will meet the service requirements of a large number of clients. Gambling levy compliance. Now, this is an interesting one. This was actually given to us. I had a phone call from a guy that works in the captive industry in Guernsey who called me up a few months ago and said he had some gambling operators based in Alderney who were panicking about the change of HMRC tax regulations regarding gambling levies. And essentially, to tie it in with insurance, it was a location of risk issue. The tax rules have been changed to a place of consumption rather than a place of supply, which meant that all these gambling operators who are operating offshore of the UK but selling sort of gambling services into the UK, they were now going to be taxed on all their UK profits. So this was the change in the UK tax legislation. And they're also required to appoint fiscal representatives in certain circumstances. So when Peter and I sat down and when we sort of looked at this, we kind of thought, well, this is, remarkably similar to IPT 10 years ago when FiscalReps was started. It's virtually the same kind of scenario, albeit a slightly different industry, a slightly different tax, but the same principles applied. So this is an example of where we've been able to sort of identify a new niche area of tax and start delivering services to a new client base. This particular tax change comes into effect, I think, on the 1st of December. So for the last couple of months, all these potential tax players have kind of, done the sort of well, we'll just leave it for a couple of weeks and deal with it. And then all of a sudden, I think 2 days ago, Peter got a flurry of phone calls from an awful number of people who need to get registered very, very quickly and who need to start paying taxes. And again, based on our sort of the infrastructure we have and the knowledge and experience, we're able to sort of turn these things around quite quickly and get these people tax compliant. So that's an example of sort of the new areas we're moving into. In terms of our plans for 2015, as it says here, we're looking to increase the global scope so we can offer tax solutions in more countries. One area we're looking at is maybe looking at a transfer pricing compliance solution. Again, we're in discussions with a small firm that specializes in creating kind of transfer pricing compliance software. So we're looking at how we can take that maybe and offer that to sort of the insurance clients. This particular technology company, that they're good at building the technology, but they don't have any experience of operating in the insurance industry. So there's an opportunity for us to take their product and see if we can sort of, bespoke it to work for insurance companies. So that's something we're working on. We're looking to obtain a Maltese FSA license so we can expand the range of kind of client money services that we can do. Obviously, at the moment, we provide a sort of a tax payment service for our clients. The things that we're looking at doing is maybe offering a more formalized way of funding tax payments for clients. We're very aware that often it can be difficult to move the money around. To get the money to us, for us to pay the taxes, often can be quite a challenge for companies. So if we're able to essentially pay the tax for you on your behalf and then collect the money from you afterwards, that may provide you with an easier solution to getting your taxes paid. With a license, we're able to offer a wider range of cash management services. We've spoken with a couple of sort of smaller clients about whether we could help them with maybe premium collections from a variety of cover holders. All these kind of things where, we've built the infrastructure and we've got the experience of dealing sort of with large sums of money and moving them around. And this is where, hopefully we can offer some of these skills back to our clients to help them out in different ways. Just in terms of our global coverage, this was some statistics here I found recently. Now on the left-hand side of the slide, this came from an Aon Benfield report that was issued or published in 2014. It said the total value of global property and casualty premiums stood at about $1.4 billion. In terms of the top 50 countries, accounted for just over $1.3 billion of the $1.4 billion. So the top 50 countries accounted for the vast majority of the global premiums that were written. So we sort of undertook a quick exercise just to compare our coverage to that of the top 50 countries. So what we found, you can see at the bottom there, of the top 50 countries, we can offer a compliance solution in 37 of those 50 right now. In terms of proportion of premiums, that equates to a 75% coverage of premiums that we can settle through our compliance solutions right now. By the end of the first half of 2015, we want to increase that to 79%, which is basically other countries we've got on our to-do list that we want to offer the compliance solutions for. And then the final two, the sort of the grey and the light blue line at the bottom, the grey is the intent is to take us up to 88%, and this is where often for sort of a variety of regulatory reasons, we may not be able to provide a compliance solution directly into that country. Excuse me, but we're able to offer advice, and we can help you do it or help your local office settle the taxes in that particular country. And then to take you up to the 100%, in those particular countries, again, is to provide a more high-level advice. So I'm thinking of the likes of kind of China and India, where the markets are from a regulatory perspective, they're quite complex. And I don't think necessarily that FiscalReps will be in a position to offer a compliance solution. But we want to be in a position where we can offer you advice on what you need to do about local premium taxes and how that may tie into your business. So that's really our objective in terms of trying to build our global capacity, is to focus on, as I say, these top 50 countries, and then to move beyond those top 50 countries. As I said before, it's largely driven by client demand. So if there's a particular country where you have a problem, please come and tell us, and we'll go away and we'll work out a solution to solve your particular problem. On that note, I'll retire. My voice, I'm getting a bit croaky, so I'll go and sit down, and I'll hand over to Peter Hewitt. As I said, have a good day. If you have any questions, please, collar any one of us. We're all available all day. If you'd like to have a meeting to discuss any particular issue, again, please ask one of us. We do have a couple of meeting rooms downstairs, so we can arrange a sort of a meeting over the course of today. But kind of, enjoy the day, have a good time. Hope you find it useful. I'll now take my seat and hand over to Peter Hewitt. Thank you very much.